So good afternoon. I
Good
welcome
afternoon,
you.
sir.
I welcome both of you for this fourth session of Data Science and Visualization Honor course. Today we are going to discuss the one of the regression model. So this regression model is called as linear regression. There are different types of algorithms used to achieve the linear regression. Least square method is one of the algorithm used to achieve the linear regression, and based on some probabilistic parameters, there are some other regression model as well, like logistic regression is also kind of a regression where the difference is that the concept of probability is used in logistic regression. We have seen that in machine learning, particularly in supervised learning, supervised machine learning task, we have two types of task. One is classification task and other is the regression task. I already made the clear distinct between the classification and regression. So in classification, the output has the discrete value, whereas in regression, the output has continuous value. So that is the fundamental difference between classification task and the regression task. So linear regression is again an example of supervised learning, of course. It is a statistical learning method or tool which helps us to perform some analysis to find out the relationship between the dependent variable and independent variable. In some in some regression task, we may have more than one independent variable. So linear regression, in which a dependent variable depends on more than one independent variable, such linear regression tasks are called as multilinear regression. However, when a dependent variable, it depends on only one variable, one independent variable, then such regression task is called as uniform or unilinear regression or simple linear regression task. These are some applications that are mentioned here on this slide for the regression. So regression, it is widely used in economics for predicting the price of the share market. It also used in management, life science, social science, so on and so forth. But on top of all these applications, it is widely used in economics. So what linear regression do? So far we have seen that a linear regression, it tries to find out the relationship between the dependent variable and one or more independent variable, that is in terms of linear equation. So what is linear equation? So linear equation is an equation in which the exponent of any term is either 0 and 1, and it should not contain any product and division of any two terms. So such equations are called as linear equation. Wherever we have the exponent term of all the components in the linear equation, if they have 0 and 1 values, and if they do not contain, if the equation do not contain any product or division of any two terms, then that will be simply called as a linear equation. So these are some examples shown here. Y is equal to a plus b into x, where all these terms, they have the exponent 1, and it does not contain any product or division of two terms. This is another linear equation. So y is equal to a plus b into x1 plus c into x2 plus d into x3. So you may say that b into x1 or b into x, c into x2 and d into x3, this is kind of product, sir. This is kind of multiplication of two things we are looking at. So remember, my friends, these are not two different terms. So b is basically the coefficient of this independent variable x. Here also b is the coefficient of this is you can also call it as a constant. This is not a term. These are the constant. B, C, D, all these are the constant of this term x1, x2, x3, so on and so forth. And so as this third and fourth, these are also linear equations. So how do we mathematically represent the linear regression? Okay, wherein the focus is to show the relationship between the dependent and independent variable. Remember, this dependent variable is also called as response variable, output variable, whereas the independent variable is also called as regressor or input variable, right? So these are the different terminologies used for the dependent and independent variable. In this equation, you can see we have mathematically represented the linear regression equation where y is equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 into x. So what is beta 0 and beta 1? So beta 0 and beta 1, these are basically the constants or the coefficient of our linear regression equation, where x is our independent variable, input variable. It is also called as regressor or response, sorry, not response. It is also called as, yeah, independent variable. Sorry, I just forgot. Then y is our dependent variable. This is also called as output variable or response variable. So linear regression is said to be multilinear regression. As I already mentioned, if the dependent variable depends on more than one independent variable. So what is the ultimate use of a regression analysis? So regression analysis is a statistical tool which identifies the linear relationship between the dependent and independent variable. Okay. So it is modeled as y is equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 into x plus epsilon. So what this epsilon indicates? So epsilon, it indicates there should be some random component while we are building the linear regression model, of course, right? So it is not possible that the model that we are building, it do not have any error or it do not have any noise, it do not have any kind of misclassification. So that may not be possible. Remember, in reality, we cannot get 100% accuracy for a build machine learning model for our, you can say that any algorithm that is built for statistical analysis. Okay, you can take any example. If you are implementing naive-Bayes classifier, you can implementing association rule, then decision tree. Maybe you are using maximum likelihood ratio, normalized distribution, or maybe logistic regression. Maybe you are using deep learning. So take any example. There is some amount of misclassification present in the model, or maybe in the statistical analysis, right? So this small misclassification or this error component, it is represented by using this epsilon. So epsilon is considered, or it indicates the random error component. It may be present in terms of error, it may be present in terms of noise in the data set, or maybe in the model. Okay, well, so this is the graphical representation. Just give me a moment. This is, two-dimensional representation of a linear regression equation. So x represents, our input variable or our independent variable, and y-axis, it represents our output variable. Whereas the line, the linear regression line, where the point where it intersects the y-axis, this part is called as, or this is represented as beta 0. So beta 0 is one of the coefficient. We have seen that it is called as a model's parameter, linear regression modeling parameter, one of the model parameter of linear regression classification. Okay. So the intercept of linear regression line to the y-axis is represented as the one of the model parameter called as beta 0. Whereas the line, the linear regression line, the slope of the linear regression line, this is just a mistake. This is beta 1 actually. So beta 1, it indicates the slope of linear regression line. So this is my model. This line is my model. Okay. So X is the, it is the value of independent variable that I am going to use to build a linear regression model. And Y is what is the value of the output variable which I am going to use, which I am going to determine using this independent variable, using this model's parameter beta 1 and beta 0. Okay. And epsilon, as I already mentioned, we have considered that there is always a small amount of error or noise is present in the learning model. So this represents the random error component. So we can compare this equation of linear regression line with the line equation. We know that what is the equation of line? The equation of line is y is equal to b plus mx. So what is b? B is the intercept of y-axis, and m is basically the slope of line. And we know that this x is input and y is what we get as a part of output. So therefore, as a simple linear regression model, we get a line on a xy plane. Okay, that is a two-dimensional plane. And this line is represented like this, where the slope is represented as beta 1, and the intercept of this linear regression line to the y-axis is represented as beta 0. So this line is also called as regression line. Okay. And we know that the linear regression line, it is used to predict the value of our dependent variable based on the model's parameter beta 0, beta 1 and the independent variable x. So according to the regression equation, this is dependent variable y is represented, or it is calculated as beta 0 plus beta 1 plus epsilon. Note that the actual value of y is represented using this equation. Whereas after building the linear regression line, or after building the linear regression model, when I use this linear regression model to predict some, input instances, then the prediction of our linear regression model for the output variable, for the response variable y, it is represented as y cap. So y is what? Y is my actual value and y cap is my predicted value of the linear regression model that I have built or that I have developed. Okay. However, this beta 0 and beta 1, these are the model's parameter. So model's parameter means what? I have calculated the beta 0 and beta 1, which helps me what is the slope of the line with respect to the x and y plane. However, what is the intercept of my line to the y-axis? Okay, once I build the line, once I draw the line, that actually transform the linear regression model. So that indicates that actually gives me the linear regression model, and that's why the linear regression model is also referred as one of the geometrical machine learning model in the data science. I hope you do not have any doubt so far. Any doubt?
No, sir.
So as I already mentioned, so random error may exist because y is dependent not only on x but also on some unknown unmeasured parameter s. So that's why epsilon is used to represent the random error component. So I have already mentioned all these things. So x is not a random variable because we always have an idea about the possible different values of x. That is, the population of x is always pre-known. That means the independent variables in case of simple linear regression and multiple independent variable in case of multiple linear regression, their values, their population is already known to us. Okay. And I mentioned that epsilon is a random variable such that the expected value of random variable is 0 and its variance is represented as the variance of this random variable epsilon is represented as sigma square. Okay. Now let's say that for some I is not equal to j. So I is some input instance and j is some another input instance. So what would be the, we are actually, representing the two different independent variables. So I is the independent variable which is independent of j. J is another independent variable. So now how do I find out the corresponding output value for I? Definitely when we have two independent variable, then definitely their output will be different. Okay, so yi, it represents the output value for instance I, and yj, it represents the output value for the instance j. Okay, so that we have represented in the form of linear regression, where this epsilon I and epsilon j, they are not correlated to each other, they are said to be independent of each other. So the random error component of this ith instance and the jth instance, they are independent of each other. So now we'll see the statistical and the geometrical property of the linear regression. So expected value of y is equal to expected value of beta 0 plus beta 1 plus x plus epsilon, and this is represented as beta 0 plus beta 1 into x plus expected value of epsilon. Just now we have calculated the expected value of epsilon. We have to just put it into the in the equation. Okay, so the expected value of y is calculated as, we know beta 0 plus beta 1 of x, this is the expected value. Okay, beta 0 plus beta 1 of x, plus put the expected value of random component. We have just mentioned here the expected value of this random variable is 0. We are considering the error is 0, random error component is 0. Okay, so now if this is 0, then the expected value of y is calculated as beta 0 plus beta 1 of x, and this is what the equation of linear regression that we have seen. Now we just put the what is the variance for the output value as well as for this right side term. So the variance of y is equal to variance of beta 0 plus beta 1 of x plus epsilon. We know that the variance in the model's parameter 0 is always 0. The variance in the independent variable, the product of independent variable x and the model parameter beta 1, it is also 0. Now what left is variance of this random variable or random component, random error component epsilon. We know that the variance of the random error component that we have represented here, it is sigma square. So just put it into this equation, 0 plus 0 plus sigma square is equal to sigma square. So the variance of y is always represented as sigma square. That is nothing but it is the variance of a random error component. So from the above, we can conclude that y follows the normalized distribution such that the expected value of y is equal to mean of y is equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 of x, which is also represented as sigma square. So if I is not equal to j, then yi and yj, they are independent of each other, that we have already mentioned. I'll just go a bit fast. These are one of the characteristic of the best fit regression line. Now, well, I have drawn a linear regression line, but how do I come to know that the regression line that I have made, it is a best fit regression line to my x and y plane? X represents independent variable and y represents dependent variable. So how do I identify that the line that I have drawn on this x and y plane is the best fit line to this plane? So if the line makes minimum sum of square of errors, then it is called as best fit line. Okay, now this x bar, let's say that the centroid of sample data where centroid is x bar is equal to 17, and we can find out no, I just missing something. Okay, no, and y bar is the centroid of output variable, x bar is the centroid of the independent variable or the x values. Okay, this is actually something I am missing. Okay, no problem, that's good. This is actually x bar. Okay, let it be. So another characteristic of the best fit regression line. So this is actually, this equation is not the part of discussion. This is just the mistake in editing the slides. I'll just later on I'll just remove this part. So centroid of the sample data is always represented as x bar and y bar. So x is the centroid of x value and y is the centroid of y value. Now the another characteristic of best fit regression line, it says that the centroid, it does not need to go through all or maximum points of your sample data, as well as it does not need to have same number of sample points above and below it. So these two properties are very important. What it says, best fit regression line, it does not need to go through all or the maximum points of the sample data. ये जरूरी नहीं है कि आप जो एक्स और वाई प्लेन को जो लीनियर रिग्रेशन लाइन ड्रॉ कर रहे हो या फिर जो भी मॉडल जो भी लाइन को मॉडल कर रहे हो, that line does not necessarily pass through all the points of your data set or maximum points of your data set. Sometimes it may be possible, it may be happen that the line does not pass even a single point, but this does not mean that the line is not the best fit line. Okay, if a linear regression line does not pass through a single point, but however it has a minimum sum of square error, then also we can call that line as a best fit regression line. That's very clear. And it is also not expected that the points which are above and below the line should be of equal size. It is not necessary. Okay. Sometimes it actually depends on what is the distribution of the samples in the data set. If you have an unequal distribution of the samples within a data set, then you may not get an equal size of instances above and below the linear regression line. You may get a different distribution of the different classification, different rate of classification for the different regions of your classes, output classes, what I mean. So these are some formulas given to calculate the model's parameter. So the first model parameter beta 0, which is the intercept of the y-axis in our two-dimensional plane, and it is also called as one of the model parameter beta 0. It is calculated as centroid of y minus the model parameter beta 1 into x bar. So x bar is the centroid of x values. So to calculate the model parameter beta 0, this equation indicates that first we need to compute the first model parameter, that is beta 1. Okay, so beta 1, it is calculated at summation of I is equal to 1 to n. So summation I is equal to 1 to n means what? All the instances, 1 to n instances, x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 up to xn. So if you have 10 samples in your data set, so the value of n is 10. Okay, so summation means sum of do the sum from 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 up to plus 10. So that gives you the summation of 1 to n. So that is what I is equal to 1 to n into bracket yi, the first instance, the value of the y value for the first instance, minus centroid of y values into xi, the ith value for the x value for the ith instance, minus the centroid value of the x value x, divided by summation of I is equal to n into bracket xi minus x bar square. So this is the equation of beta 1 to find the model parameter beta 1. Many times a question is asked, examples will be given to you, and you would be asked to find the model's parameter beta 0, beta 1, and then represent the linear regression line. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. Actually, I'm actually going to show you something before I proceed. Let me take a full slide view of this. So I just want to show you what is the sum of square error. Okay, now let's say that this is my line, this is my linear regression line, this is the slope of line, this is intercept of the line, this is my y values, y-axis values for my data sample, and this represents the x-axis value for my data sample. So that is what this line is, my linear regression line, where y is equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 into x. Okay. Now let's say that my points on this are these are the positive class points. Okay, fine. So dear friends, these are the positive class points and these are the negative class points. And you can see that majority of points, they are not on the line. So the characteristics of the best fit line. Now, can I say that this linear regression line is a best fit? Tell me, can I say that this linear regression line is best fit line? Best fit regression
So
line? Yes.
actually, it's not visible what you are doing.
Oh my God, again one more thing. So better what I will do is I will, instead of sharing the presentation, I will share the screen. है ना? That is best idea. Please tell me whether the screen is visible to you or not. Okay, that's. You can unmute your mic and please let me know whether your screen is visible.
Yes, it's visible now.
Okay, can you see now this
Yes,
line?
it's visible.
Okay, so this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. These are the y values and x values. So every instance has two values, x coordinate and y coordinate. Okay, this is the linear regression line that I have drawn. This is the intercept of my y-axis, that is beta 0, and this is the slope of the line, that is beta 1. Now these are the positive class instances and these are the negative class instances. So I have performed the classification of this, data set. Fine. Now, can you tell me whether this linear regression line, this red linear regression line, is it a best fit regression line? Yes. Yes, please tell me. Is it a best fit linear regression line? Now, how do I find out the error for this instance, the error made by our linear regression line for this instance? So, whenever the instance is on line, that means it has zero errors. Okay. So, if you observe these three instances, they are on the line. That means the error for these three instances, okay, is zero. The line has zero error for these three instances, for this instance, for this instance, and for this instance. However, if you go to this instance, the distance of this point, this data point from the line is bit, it is at this position. So this distance of instance from the line, it indicates the error made by the line to this instance. So now the error made by the line to this instance is this. Okay. However, the error made by the line to this instance is very large, but for most of the instances, error is very small. Okay. So for these instances, error is very small. Okay. For these three instances, error is zero actually. For this instance, error is very, small. For this instance, error is increased. For this instance, for this data points, error is very low. However, for this instance, eventually it's very high because this point is far away from our linear regression line. So overall, when you take a sum of square of these errors, and if it is minimum, then we can say that this line is a best fit linear regression line. Okay. Why do we take the square of these distances? Because sometimes any instance that is above or below the line, it is considered as a negative instance. Okay, like suppose this is the line. Okay, ये line है आपकी. All the instances, all the points on the right hand side, we take it as a positive instances. All the values on the negative on this side will be considered as negative. But in reality, or you can say that in geometry, we do not take the negative instances. So that's why we take a square to make the negative distances positive. Okay, fine. So that's the reason whatever is the error, suppose the error of this, if the error of this instance, if it is -1, then we'll just take a square of it. Similarly, the error of this instance are 0. So 0 square is 0. Similarly, we will calculate the error of all the points and we'll take a summation of all of it. And whatever is the final value, maybe it is 0.1 or 0.111 or something like 0.21 something. Okay, so that would be our final minimum sum of square error made by this line. Okay, so this is what I want to show you. This is very important from the linear regression perspective. So why we call it as a best fit regression line? Because whenever the line has minimum sum of square of errors, then it is called as best fit regression line. Now the third characteristic that we have seen, that the line should not the line need not passes through all the points or maximum points. Now here you can see that our line passes through only 3 points, plus this 1 plus point, 1 positive point, and 2 negative points. Okay, so for majority of points the line is not passing. So this doesn't mean that the line is not best fit line. Okay, that doesn't the passing the line from all the instances doesn't mean that it is a best fit line. The third characteristic, the number of instances above and below the line should not be equal. Okay, need not be equal or should not be equal. Okay, then also you can say that the line is best fit line. Here you can see the points above the line and the points below the line, they are not equal. So still we found that this line is a best fit linear regression line. Why? Because the only reason is it has minimum sum of square of error. All the points, they are close to line. Okay, some points are on the line and majority of points, they are close to line. So that means they are having minimum square error. That's it. Now we are going to see the next part, that is example actually what I mentioned you. This is the example that is shown. So consider a following data for 5 students, each xi, that is equal to I is equal to 1 to 5, which represents the score of ith student in the standard 10, and corresponding yi score of ith student in the standard 12. Okay, this is given to us. ये 5 स्टूडेंट का डेटाबेस दिया है, स्टूडेंट 1 2 3 4 5, ये सभी पांचों स्टूडेंट्स के 10th का स्कोर, 10 के परसेंटेज और 12 के परसेंटेज दिए हैं. Now the question is being asked to us is, what linear equation best predicts the standard 12 score? That is simply we want to find out the linear regression equation, or find the linear regression line that best fit for the given sample data. That is also same question, meaning is same, or the interpretation of both the different questions is same. How to interpret the linear regression equation, that I will tell you. This is second question asked, and the third question is asked, if the student score is 90 in 10th standard, then what would be his and her score, expected score in 12th standard? Okay, so simple example is given to us. Now we know that xi is the score of the ith student in 10th standard, yi is the score of ith student in the 12th standard, x is our independent variable and y is our dependent variable. So we know that the equation of the linear regression line, because we want to predict the linear regression line. So it is represented as y cap is equal to beta 0 cap plus beta 1 cap of x, whereas beta 0 and beta 1, these are the models parameter, and these are the formulas that we are going to use to calculate the beta 0 and beta 1. So to calculate the beta 1, what we need is, we need y bar and x bar. We know that what is y bar and x bar. Y bar is the centroid of y coordinate and x bar is the centroid of x coordinate. So let's do this. So now I got the first centroid of the x coordinate. So summation of I is equal to 1 to n xi is equal to 390. So what I need is summation of I is equal to 1 xi. So that means all the summation of all the x values, all the x coordinate values. So summation of all the x coordinate value that we got is 390. Okay. Now we are going to just put it into this formula. Okay. So x bar is equal to summation of I is equal to n divided by xi divided by 5. So why 5? Total number of instances in our example is 5. So 5 data points samples are given to us. That's why it is 5. Okay. Summation of all the x coordinate values that we have already calculated 390, and thereby we just put it into this formula. X bar is equal to 390 divided by 5. So we have calculated x bar as 78. Same way we will also calculate the y bar, that is the centroid of the y coordinate axis. Same way you can calculate summation of I is equal to 1 to n yi divided by 5. And further on, when you compute this, what you get is the 77. So we got centroids of our data set, that is x bar and y bar. These are the two centroids of our data samples. Now based on this, we are going to prepare a table. So this is the x and yi values given to us for the 5 different students. Let's calculate xi minus x bar. So just subtract the value of first instance 95 from the mean of the x, that is 78. So this centroid is also called as mean or centroid. Okay, x bar is also called as mean of x values or centroid of the x coordinate values. So 95 minus 78, what we get is 17. Again, subtract mean from the second value, that is 85 minus 78, what we get is 7. So on, we have calculated this 2 minus 8 minus 18. Similarly, you can also, once you get these values, take a square of it. So 17 square 289, same way 7 square 49, 2 square 4, minus 8 square 64, minus 18 square 324, and so on. Okay, because we need this value. Okay, सबसे पहले हमें क्या कैलकुलेट करना है? बीटा 1 कैलकुलेट करना है. To know the beta the denominator part of beta 1 is represented here. Summation of I is equal to 1 to n xi minus x bar square. तो ये कैलकुलेट करने के लिए सबसे पहले हमने क्या किया? हमने सबसे पहले सेंट्रॉइड कैलकुलेट किए, फाइंड आउट किए, कंप्यूट किए. उसके बाद एक टेबल प्रिपेयर किया. ये टेबल में x की वैल्यूज ली, y की वैल्यूज ली पांचों स्टूडेंट्स के लिए. देन वी हैव कैलकुलेटेड xi माइनस x बार, हर एक इंस्टेंस को अपने मीन से सब्सट्रैक्ट किया और जो भी वैल्यू आती है उसका स्क्वायर लिया, बिकॉज वी नीड दिस xi माइनस x बार स्क्वायर. सो what is the sum of this column? The sum of this column is 730. Similarly, we will also subtract the y coordinate value from the mean of y. Okay, centroid of y. So centroid value of y is 77. So subtract first y value of first instance. Okay, y coordinate value for the first instance is 85. Subtract it from the mean. What we get is 85 minus 77, that is 8. Similarly, 95 minus 77, what we get 18. Then 70 minus 77, what we get is minus 7. 65 minus 77, what we get is minus 12. 70 minus 77, what we get is minus 7. Okay, and now once we get these values, just take a multiplication of xi minus x bar and yi minus y bar. So 17 into 8, what we get is 136. Why we are doing this? Why we need the last column? Because if you observe this equation, the numerator, in numerator what we need is yi minus y bar, the product of yi minus y bar into xi minus x bar. So इसको पहले calculate करेंगे and then we'll get the sum of this. Okay, so 17 into 8 136, 7 into 18 126, 2 into minus 7 minus 14, minus 8 into minus 12 96, minus 18 into minus 7 126. So just perform the sum of all these 5 values, what we get is 470. So once you prepare this table, then you can compute the beta 1. How? I'm just going to put this value 470 and 730 into this equation. What I need is beta 1 is equal to, I have found out this term. Okay, summation of I is equal to 1 to n yi minus y bar into xi minus x bar. इसकी वैल्यू क्या आ गई है? 470. So 470 divided by 730. xi minus x bar, इसका वैल्यू क्या निकाला है हमने? 730. So 470 divided by 730 will gives me the beta 1 0.644. And once you calculated the beta 1, then we can easily calculate the beta 0. We know what is the equation of beta 0. Beta 0 is calculated as y bar minus beta 1 into x bar. Centroid तो हमने सबसे पहले calculate की है. We know what is the value of centroid y bar. Y bar की value है 77 minus beta 1 we have just calculated here 0.644 into x bar की value है 78, and this gives me the beta 0 value, that is 26.768. So here we have calculated both the model's parameter. That means the linear regression line that I am going to build, it will intercept the y-axis at the point 26.76, and this line has the slope of 0.644. So these are my model's parameters. So this model parameter, unless and until I compute this model parameter, I cannot draw, I cannot achieve the linear regression line for my xy plane. That's clear. So the primary part, the basic the fundamental objective is to compute the value of model's parameter beta 1 and beta 0. So that we have taken. Now, once we know the model's parameter, then we can easily represent our linear regression equation. Okay. What is our linear regression equation? Our linear regression equation is y cap is equal to beta 0 cap plus beta 1 cap. We know this model's parameter, just put these values of model's parameter into this equation. So line is represented as our linear regression line, a final linear regression line that predicts the instances or the data set is mathematically represented as y cap is equal to 26.768 plus 0.664 into x, where y is my dependent variable whose value is dependent on these three parameters, beta 0, beta 1, and independent variable x. So x is what? X is my independent variable. 26.76, this is my intercept of the line, linear regression line, which is represented as beta 0. However, this 0.664, this is my slope of my linear regression line, and this is indicated as the second model parameter, that is beta 1. So this is the representation of best linear regression line. Okay. Still, we cannot conclude that this is a best fit linear regression line unless and until we calculate its minimum sum of square error. Now, the second question which was asked in this is, okay, how to interpret the linear regression equation line. Now, if the value of the beta 0, if it is 0, the first interpretation, let me tell you, the first assumption that we are going to make is, if the value of the beta 0 founds 0, then still value of y is increased by beta 1 units. Okay. If the value of the beta 0 is 0, then the value of y will be increased by beta 1 units. Why? Because beta 1 is basically the product term into this. Okay. So whatever is the x value, it will be increased by beta 1 unit. Okay. So x की value अगर 2 है, then this value of x that is 2, it will be increased by 0.66 unit. Okay. Even if the beta 0 is 0. हमारा intercept 0 हुआ है ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता है, but still we are just predicting. This is the first assumption. This is the first interpretation. The second interpretation, even if the value of the independent variable is, or even if the value of the beta 1 or the independent variable is 0, एक तो आपकी beta 1 की value 0 आ गई, okay, in that case this 0 into x independent variable की value जो भी होगी, so 0 into anything will be 0, we know that. Still the value of y will be beta 1. Okay, even if the value of your independent variable is 0, that means 0 into beta 1, that is 0.66, that will also be 0. Still the value of our dependent variable will be beta 0. Why? Because beta 0 is 26.76. something is there in our linear regression. Okay, यहां पर अगर मेरी x की वैल्यू 0 हो गई तो क्या होगा? 0.66 into 0, 26 plus 76 plus 0 कितना होगा? 26.76. so still y is equal to beta 0. even if beta is 0 is 0, okay, beta 0 की वैल्यू अगर 0 आ गई, then still y is always 1 unit increase than the value of independent variable x. Now the third question that is being asked to us, you are going to find the answer of this. If a student score 90 in standard 10, what would be his or her expected score in 12? What you have to do is just put the value of x into this equation. What is the value of x? What is the value of x that is given to us?
90.
90. So just put 90 in this equation and find out what is the predicted value of by our linear regression model for the student whose score is 90 in 10th, and what is the predicted score in the 12th? Yes, tell me.
It's 86.528.
Very good. That's the right answer. Very good. So similarly, you can predict the score of 12 for any unknown value, okay, of x. Unknown value, what do I mean? Apart from these values given in the data set, you can take any unknown value and you can predict the score of that student for the 12. So do you understood? Any question in this? So
No, sir.
I keep all the last 7 minutes for the question and answer. So if you have any doubts, I'll take your doubts. Otherwise, we will stop. But I will wait till next 5 minutes. Agam, Onkar, Atharva.
Yes, sir.
So can you please share the recordings of previous lectures? Due to some reasons we missed it.
Okay, maybe I have not recorded the last session actually. It was association rule mining, rule-based learning.
So you can even share the PDF.
Yes, sir, it will do.
Sorry, you are not audible actually. What you said, I didn't hear properly.
सर PDF शेयर कर सकते हो.
PDF करूँ? Okay, no problem. I'll share the PDF. Okay, ये जो presentation है, I will share the PDF. No problem. That's great.
Yes, sir, this also and the previous one which you took in the previous lecture.
Okay. Actually, for rule-based learning, only theory is not sufficient. The example that I took in the last week, that was also important. Because ultimately theory will not be asked. They will give you the examples. The transactions will be given to you and they will be asked to generate the association rules. Probably they will also ask you to calculate the lift value to evaluate the rules. We have seen in the last lecture that after generating the association rule, we calculate the lift value for each association rule just to evaluate their confidence in building the model. Okay. मतलब सिर्फ हम association rule generate करके रुक नहीं जाते हैं, right? After generating the association rule, we calculate their lift value. So whoever rules has the lift value close to 1, those rule will be selected. Finally, those rule will be evaluated, and the association rule mining or the engine, the recommendation engine will be built based on that. So in rule-based, in a priori association rule mining, only the support and confidence do not play a major role. There is some amount of association rule evaluation is done by using the concept called as lift value that I have already shown you. in the last week. So I'll just check in my folders in my database whether the recordings of the last sessions are available. If they are available, I will definitely share with all of you. No problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay, in linear regression, do you have any problem? Three terms are very important in linear regression. एक है, that is, how do you represent the linear regression? So what are the terms in the linear equation? What is dependent variable, independent variable? What are the constants or the coefficients? What is called as the model's parameter? What is called as dependent entity, independent entity, or response and regressors? This is very important. Then the characteristics of the linear regression line, the best fit linear regression line. That three characteristics what we have discussed so far. And on top of it, actually that example, the building the model and then predicting the outputs, the example that I have given you. I have a lot of examples. I'll just share the example on the WhatsApp group. You just find out the answers to that question. Probably in the next week's lecture, I'll share the answer of that question with all of you. No problem. I'll just put the question into the chat box. Just give me a second. Immediately I will share it. No problem. So all of you just give me the answer to this question. I have also shared the association rule mining question with all of you. Group वर share केले ना मी? बघितलं का?
No, sir. Share नाही केले बहुतेक.
Okay, I'll share that PDF with all of you. Don't worry. Okay, it's there actually. Can we share the file here? Data set I will share with you. I'm not sure. Can I really, paste the table?
Sir, can you please share this in the WhatsApp group?
Okay, that is good idea. I think it is
Yeah.
not properly visible here. Okay. Anyway, exclude it. Just ignore it. I will share the PDF on our group. No problem. Thank you so much. So Suryanshi madam is waiting for the next lecture. So you can take a break of 2 minutes or 3 minutes and then join her lecture immediately. Thank you. Thank you so much for patiently listening. Have a
Thank you,
great day
sir.
ahead. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.